Thrift shops have become very, very popular.
Yes, they have been. You know, I think for a number of reasons. Number one, people want to find those treasures. You know,
Yep.
they know when they go into, you saw the number that said 2,000 items a day. People go into our stores and they look for something special. They generally find it. They also find very good value there. You know, especially among young shoppers, they're looking to find something that they can afford. And then the third thing is they want something that creates sort of social value. And there are two ways that happens at Goodwill. Most people don't realize, but we're a nonprofit organization. So every dollar you spend in a store and the value of every single donation stays in your local community. And it does two things. Number one, it supports programs, and this is our mission, to advance economic mobility for people that are unemployed or churning in low-wage jobs. And we do that in a number of ways. We provide people with sort of core work readiness skills if they may not be quite ready or have other challenges. We provide them with hard job skills. We've provided over 1.5 million people with digital skills over the last 5 or 6 years. And then we work with them actually to find that job and actually to place them in the job. And if they have other issues in life, we may support them to help them find housing or some other things.
A couple of quick questions. You mentioned that obviously you're a nonprofit, but if I go in and I buy, let's say, a jacket, a sweater, a coffee maker, or some utensil of sort, I don't get a tax write-off for that, do I?
You do if you donate.
If I donate, not if I purchase.
You're a buyer, but if you donate those goods. So we want you to donate in the back door and buy in the front.
So of all the stuff that is donated, and I've been a donor to Goodwill as I've moved children from one apartment to another and they don't need the stuff. How do you curate what is donated and goes somewhere else from what you display in your stores for retail sale?
So everything goes through an intake process, and we work very hard to make sure that every item goes to its sort of what I would call its highest use. So the majority of things are going to go into a store. We have 2 online channels, Shop Goodwill and Goodwill Finds.
Wow, who knew that?
Yeah, who knew it? 2 of the things I'm wearing today are from those online channels.
This is from the Goodwill collection.
Everything
right?
I have, everything I have.
Your jacket is a Goodwill?
My jacket, my
your
Ferragamo tie.
A Ferragamo tie?
Pinpoint shirt, my slacks, everything's from a Goodwill.
From the Goodwill, we're going to have him stand up and do a little pirouette.
That's right. That's right. I'm not good with the runway, but in any case, so we have a large network of ways to sell goods and to help them find their highest use. Now, sometimes we get things donated to us that aren't sellable. We might get toys that maybe are broken or a piece of clothing that might not be sellable, and we work often with companies that may remanufacture those things. We've got a partnership right now with a company that turns plastics into decking material, and we're also increasingly helping emerging recycling technologies in their quest to figure out how to turn unused clothing back into fibers that can be reused. So the majority of it we try to get sold. That's the highest use. But if it's something that's not sellable, we try to work with people to manufacture it. And increasingly, I think recycling will come into the picture.
I want to ask you a couple of questions. And one is about how thrift shopping became a thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it became a thing.
Yeah.
But let me go first to this. When I take some clothing and I put it in one of these bins that are ubiquitous, where does it go? How much of it is actually goes to another country or to people who need the clothing, and how much of it is actually landfilled?
So a small percentage of the clothing is going to be landfilled. The majority, so where it goes is we take it into the store. We analyze every piece of clothing and we evaluate the best place for it to go. And that, as I said before.
What about other providers, not you? There are others who do this. It's not just Goodwill.
That's right.
Who have bins and so forth.
Yeah.
Where does that stuff go?
Well, it would depend on the provider. In some cases, it's going to go to another thrift store chain. In some cases, people do sell it into the wholesale market, which then can go all around the world.
But you then, if it's your bin, I go and I donate there, and I may or may not claim a tax deduction for that. You go through every single piece of clothing and you look for where is the highest use value.
We go through every single item at Goodwill that is donated to Goodwill. Right, and then we determine, most of it's going to go into the store. We have outlets, we have online channels, and some of it will go into the wholesale market.
How did thrift shopping become a thing? There was a song, I think it was Macklemore. I forget who did it. How did it become a thing?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't have, I can't tell you the exact history, but I know that we've been a thrift store chain for over 100 years. Our founder had a mission to serve poor people in Boston, and he started collecting clothes from people to give to the poor. And he said, you know what, if we can clean these clothes and we can mend them and resell them, we can give those people jobs. We don't need to give them a handout. We can give them a hand up. And that's what spawned this massive network known as Goodwill. And that was the foundation of our mission, where we said we want to help people realize their full potential through work. And that turned into job training programs and all sorts of other things that help people be competitive in the job market.
All right, Steve, that is a good-looking outfit from Goodwill.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for telling us the story.
Appreciate it very much.
Enjoyed having you here.
All right.